All right, good people. It's your man EG with the EGMJ Journey podcast. Got another super fantastic guest. Shout out to my man, Mr. Jonathan Everett, aka also known as the Good Pastor, the Pastor of New Orleans. Got some good stuff coming. But before we get into that, we want to go ahead. One more again, people. This is your man, EG. I'm here with New Orleans pastor, the fastest growing church in the city. This guy right here. And I had the opportunity to know him way before he was even famous. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting down with the likes of big people. But again, I got him in the building. You know, it wasn't even hard, man. You know, sometimes it's hard to get celebrities out here. What you laughing at, man? It wasn't hard, man. I just made a phone call. He said whenever, and I got so caught up, and he said, boop, 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 boop. Yo, when you need me to come in, when I'm coming in. And that was that. And he made his way. I'm talking about a guy who's sitting down with the likes of the largest pastors in the country. You know, he's being called up by TD. It don't get no bigger than TD. You know what I'm saying? It don't. I'm just saying. He's acting all shy and bashful at this time. But if you know him like I know him,
don't.
A good man, good brother. Mr. Jonathan Everett. Pastor Jonathan Everett.
Yo, on the ones and twos.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? I knew it was coming. I knew it was gonna come. You just got to give it a little bit. What's good with it, man?
Man, I'm good, man. How you doing, man? First of all, I want to say congratulations.
Appreciate it.
And,
much love.
I have to say this really honestly, that I think your story is impeccable. It's encouraging, and just looking from within, but also understanding the perception from afar. I believe it's going to help a whole lot of people. I believe this platform, seriously.
I pray so. You know, I've been seeing some things visually in my spirit, man, that has been almost unbelievable. But because I know who God is, you know what I'm saying? It makes it all believable. And then there's evidences that's been coming about without me even putting my hands or words on it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just what I think and it just happens.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll share some of those things off air with you personally. And you guys are going to see it a little bit later because there's some big things that are happening right now in the atmosphere that it's blowing my mind. Let me see that.
Wow.
And it just give us another place for the platform, and we'll be able to, you know, do some great things.
Well, man, you fit for it, qualify for it.
Hey, man, I'll take it. I'll take it.
God gonna continue to do great things with you.
Yeah, I've been doing some work, man. I've been working.
That's the word.
Yeah, you know, and it's crazy because, you know, I say the same thing on every show because I got to let the people know that it's crazy that I had you in high school.
Yeah,
back in 2000. I think that probably was 2002.
Yeah, I was flexing or something. I was meanie weaning,
flexing, stepping, all that stuff. But what's crazy is how old are you now?
37.
37, really?
Yeah.
Man, you got me by 10 years. It's crazy how, you know, my age hasn't stopped. I mean, it has stopped, and y'all been going. Y'all passed me up. I'm 27, young brother. I'm talking to Willie Fred. Willie Fred is in the building with him. Along with my sister Marlo. Y'all know Marlo though.
Marlo.
But man, tell me what's going on. What's popping in your world today?
Man, you know, besides pastoring, giving our consulting business, dealing with a lot of younger generation, dealing with entertainers and politicians, and you know, the book that we released last year, and kind of, you know, went on tour and then coming off tour and did some mini book overviews within the city. I mean, man, we've seen a lot of success from that book, not just from like Bishop T.D. Jakes, Dr. Fat Mancini, Emmitt Smith, Dr. Johnny Wimbrey. All these people, you know, put their hands on it and purchased those books and gave it to their staff. So we've seen some. I mean, you know what it taught me? It taught me a major lesson. It's not how many you put out there, it's you putting it in the right hands.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I thought that was like one of the biggest things that, because, you know, in my mind, I'm like, nah, I need 30,000 copies sold.
Word.
You know what I mean? But then I thought about that if I can put it in the right hand, that right hand can touch 30,000 people for me in one hand. In one hand.
Absolutely.
So, and that was a big thing.
And that is a definite winning solution.
Yeah.
That formula is phenomenal. I actually just did a summit, and in that summit, I met 5 people.
Wow.
I personally met 5 people. They had less than 3 of the 5 had less than 100 people on their YouTube channel, but they were making $50,000 a month.
Wow.
On that channel.
Wow.
But because they were putting out the proper information in the proper place, they were able to obtain backwards. And, you know, like you said earlier, I'm in the wrong business. I had to get in that business in order to get to that space. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to YouTube
right now.
Right now.
50,000 a month
50,000
with under 100 followers, subscribers.
Man, but I can't. You saying YouTube or TikTok? Because I know on TikTok,
no, YouTube.
The little hip movement. I can't do the little hip movement, man. The little.
I didn't see you doing it.
Oh yeah,
but I ain't gonna tell him. Remember, we were just talking about he was beanie weaning.
Yeah,
at the school.
But
so
there's different type of dancing now, because
they do some
man,
stuff.
that's a lot of hip movement, man.
And it's just like, what? It don't even compute to me.
It doesn't even compute. I won't even try, to be honest.
Please don't.
If I swing it left or right 2 times, it's out of here.
And you got to watch it, because Willie Fred gonna be around there recording you. He gonna make all the money. It's gonna be on his TikTok. Look at my pastor.
He twerking out here.
I see him twerking it. He gonna have you next to Megan Thee Stallion or somebody.
Man. Pastor got good knees. Oh man.
At any rate, so you know that's the measure and the mark that you are pushing out is absolutely phenomenal, man. I've been watching that, and you know, a lot of people. This is what I found, especially being in this side of the industry. Lots of people watch, but lots of people don't say nothing.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So they watch without clicking.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, and I get it. You know, I think I was like that at one point, but now I understand the value of the change in what we do now.
Yeah.
Versus what it was, because that's not where we were. You know, you send me a text message, I'm gonna pick up the phone and call you.
Correct.
That's just me. I'm old school like that.
Yeah, no, I'm just as old, man.
Yeah.
To that watching and no contact, that's weird to me though.
It is.
Because I'm old school. You know, I'll be hearing people like, you know, they'd be like, "Oh, I watch you." I'll be like, "Say, big brother, you couldn't send me a text and be like, keep up the good
something.
You know, keep up the good work."
Right.
Hey man, you know, I see you doing your thing.
Yeah.
And so you get that a lot, you know what I mean? From people that you looked up to and people that you think would have the decency to say, "Hey man, pat you on your back, keep going." I do it.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, certain people that I admire.
The human being, the flesh needs that pat. You know, we need that encouragement, or that say, "Hey, look, I see you, you know, keep it pushing."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it helps.
Yeah, because that, you know, I'm old school and from the projects. So I feel like if you don't say nothing, I feel as though it's something between us.
Yeah.
And you know, I
do you something?
Yeah, I don't even know you like that.
I just seen you out in the street somewhere. It's all good.
You're looking at me crazy at the gas station. I'm just trying to get my hot fries, man.
Just at the gas station, not brothers. Anyway, no snack on them. Anyway, but again, you're doing some great things, some major things that's out here in this community. This is the first person, and I know he may not be the first one to do it, but the first person to set up at a gas station to pay for people's gas. Now, if you don't know, that is absolutely huge.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah, man.
I mean, with gas being $13 a gallon, y'all paying for what, a quarter gallon?
$99 a gallon.
You know, you're out here doing things, and I said that to say that you're out here doing practical things for the people, not just standing in the pulpit talking about what's going to be done, helping out these schools. You know, I saw what you did with St. Aug. You know what I'm saying? I've seen what you've done in the communities, just walking around and just frequenting the community within itself. And that right there is the vision of church that I've always had.
Man, we did the gas thing. We partnered with St. Aug for the last couple of years of feeding a football program before and after football games from different community events. Man, we didn't send so many kids to college and pay their tuition. And, all those things. And, for my birthday in honor of my book, we gave away $21,000 to high school students in different parts of the country to say, keep going. And I to be honest with you, I do it because I remember what I longed for as a child. Coming up in the project, that I wish the church would have just sat there and said, not give it to me per se, but just had the program that we could have potentially had an opportunity at it. And I think it's crazy for us to preach a good message within inside the four walls and then tell people go out there and get it how you live.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Versus saying, no, not only we talking spiritual principles, but also I'm gonna have some practices outside of this where you can stay connected to God and say, man, not only I got the word, but also the church made it some kind of provision for me.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Some kind of way of some kind of helps. Them preaching days and sending people out there be like, just go get it how you get it. Them days should be over.
Well, they should be. And, again, and just like I said, this is not kind of where I don't want to go, but it's sort of the reason that people are stepping away. Because they don't see the practicality in what church, not ministry or not God, but the church is giving them. Or they're not receiving what they need. Because our ages have changed, our times have changed, right? And we're in the age and or time of we need to be able to touch and feel what's in front of us.
One of the things that I have these conversations with people is, the members in the pews are very smart. And they are definitely smarter than previous generations. And so, if the pastor don't have that administrative skill or practice, that can hinder that church and to serve that church. So, it's two different perspectives. It's outreach and then it's inreach. And if you don't know how to balance or leverage the two, you will focus more on, receiving money from those who attend the church and give it outside. But then you fail to do different things for those who inside and say, we appreciate your donations, your gifts, your tithes.
Right.
And whenever that happened, you're so growth minded that you're not godly centered. You know what I mean? Like there's so many people. That's
good right there.
They weren't about growing a church. Man, I want my church to be big. Hey, to be honest, I'm not a big church guy.
Right. Gotcha.
I'm not a church guy, to be honest.
Word
with you.
Word up.
You want me to be thoroughly honest with you? I would love to spend more time sitting on a person's porch talking crazy. Than literally sitting through a service. That's just me. That's my
to me, that is church.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
If we learn that church is not just about growth, and that's what they stuck in our head in this Western American, that church, in order for you to be a healthy, good church, that is about growth. And I don't believe that perspective.
Right.
I believe you can be small, healthy, and happy at the same time.
Absolutely.
And love God. And the numbers don't have to dictate whether or not it's God. And we use that, certain scriptures that talk about the increase in numbers and woo. But at the end of the day, man, if whatever, I don't care if it's 10 people, I'm happy.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. Because that 10 could far outweigh that 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So especially when you get into the point of feeding the message or feeding the way, So let me jump back a little bit.
I ain't mean to take you that low.
No. Oh, it's good. No, it's good. And I'm like this. Wherever we're led to go, that's where we go.
We could take that U-turn, man.
Yeah, we're gonna U-turn. So I just want to go back a little bit. So I just want to tell the people, I don't know what it was. I am a guy that has always been like, there he is. There he is. I sure wish y'all could see what we looking at right now. Y'all didn't even see that somebody went under the camera.
What do you went under the camera?
Willie Fred, come show your face for a second, Doc.
Willie Fred.
Yeah, I go see Willie Fred. Willie Fred about to come in this joint. Just say hello, Willie Fred. Hello, Willie Fred.
Hello, Willie Fred. like the white hand on Kevin Hart.
Right. but there was there was something happening at John Everett High School in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
There was, I don't know what, well, it was the hand of God. It had to be, you know, and I went to West Jeff and I went to Higgins, right? And I would always be like, Everett, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be 100. And some of my friends are going to dog me for this.
They are.
But I don't care. But something happened when I got there. No, that's what it was. I got there when I was there.
Ooh, boy, you're in the text.
So let me tell you what we had, and it's not being boastful or tooting our own horns or my own horn, toot. But we had people in the likes of yourself, who is doing great works, not just in the city, but across the country. Then we had people like David Brown, which is, for those of you that don't know, that's a lucky day.
Yeah.
Then Kobe Malone, who's another a good young pastor in the city. Derek Johnson, who is a killer musician, but I think he's out in LA now. Then you have Angelica Joseph, Jelly. Who is a phenomenal vocalist. If those of you that don't know who I'm talking about, she is the vocalist on the song "Get You Some." But then we turn around and we have probably the most cult following and well-known person in that whole group, in Christopher Bro, who is Frank Ocean. Yeah. So I mean, some phenomenal talent, and that's just talking about the people that had some sort of fame that was a part of either that step group or my choir, or you know, something like that. And you know, I'm humbled, bro. I'm be honest with you, I am humbled because I look back and I'm like, man, all these kids came through, and I had the opportunity to have my hand on all these kids.
Yeah, man.
And it was just, and it was, and I'm gonna tell y'all, it was surely because I had a love for people, and you know, God blessed me with the abilities that He did. You know,
what we had, it was African American, what, Black History.
That it all culminated out of that. Yeah,
Black History,
out of the Black History Club.
Tearing that thing up.
Yeah, that thing was fire.
Oh, we were tearing that thing up, boy.
It was a fun. It was extremely fun. My wife went to Eric, and at the time she was a teacher there, which now she is an administrator. She's an assistant principal.
She's my business English teacher.
Yeah. I think she was probably everybody's business English teacher.
She was my business English teacher.
Yeah, and then you know,
it was a dope year.
But you know, that lasted for not just from 2002. It lasted all the way, you know, for some years.
Man. Yeah,
you know, it lasted, and just the amazing young people that really wanted to do some stuff.
Yeah,
you know, in which it's kind of scary there now. You know,
outside of the normal extracurriculum activities that they normally have.
Exactly. I ain't talking about football or basketball and all. I'm talking about the things that you guys did what you did because you had a desire, because you wanted to, because you were blessed and you were skilled to do those things. Nick. Yeah, it was a whole bunch of people. I go crazy just naming it.
Yeah. You're gonna get in trouble too.
In trouble because I'm gonna miss somebody.
Yeah, you missed a lot of.
I missed a whole bunch of people. So at any rate, it is, you know, I just said that to say that I was extremely blessed.
Oh yeah, man.
By that situation.
Yeah. That was a dope concept, you know, when we started it, and I really thought I was gonna pledge.
brother. Anyway,
you want to just shout out all of them? No, just
none of them. Because they ain't even our stilo.
I was about to get ready to go ahead.
So with all of that, man, it was again great times. So with you being where you are and having the success that you've had thus far, you know, which I believe is going to be even crazier. This right here is headed to being a New York best.
Don't you play with me now? Don't you play with me now?
I'm just saying, hey,
say it one more time.
It's about the connections that you've made. You know, you're talking about the one to confound many, right?
Yes, sir.
This is the one.
Yeah.
You know, this book
I received.
And you need Driven by Design, guys. It's a practical pattern to a purpose fulfilled by Jonathan Everett. If you don't have it now, you need to go get it. I'm gonna put it up and show you how you can go and get it.
Yeah, that's
all right. So don't miss it, because it's you don't want to miss this great opportunity in this great book. So with all that, how do you get to that portion? What is the journey to get to where you are? Of course, we knew you grew up in the project. We knew you grew up in Marrero, which all of Marrero is the project.
housing development.
I'm sorry. I'm from Gretna. You say housing development.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, right.
We don't call it the project. We call it the housing development.
Now, fam, let me tell you something. I lived in the Marrero project.
All right.
I didn't live in the Marrero housing development. I did some time in the Marrero project.
Did some time. You sound like you had a sentence.
It was basically that. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. Right there. Right there at 1705 Better Street, man. That was my address, fam.
Man,
and I'm sorry, my neighbor, 1701 was 4G.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, good dude, man.
Sure enough.
I don't, I'm gonna say this to you, because and it's not, they ain't listening to us. I don't know how to define it. Define what we consider success. I think this place in my life is peace.
Yeah.
But also this place in my life is where I can honestly say that I am most focused that I've ever been in my life, right? And so everything else that people, they see me in the streets or other people from around the country are calling and be like, "Oh man, I see what you're doing." I'll be sitting back like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Like,
well, when it's just you, then it don't feel like work.
Right. It's just a natural thing. And one of the things that I've done, and I think how I got here, is that I stopped allowing people to make decisions for me. Right.
Yeah, that's good.
And because I noticed I was living out consequences that I didn't make decisions for.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so when I took ownership of that, and then I started tapping into that purpose and stopped being afraid to walk in a room and be who I am, right?
Yeah.
And start praying this prayer, what this room have for me and what this room need from me. You know what I mean? So good. I started synchronizing like everything and starts being more specific and intentional about what it is that I'm doing. So a lot of times when people, they be tapping me, DM me, inboxing me, and I'll be like, man, thank you so very much. And I'm humbled by it. But in my mind, I'm just me, being me, right?
I can dig it.
Speaking Ebonics every now and then.
Hey, man.
I miss
the language. That's the language we learn.
Yeah, I miss some of them words. Hey, listen, man, this is me. So even when I'm around some of what we consider to be high profile people,
right?
You know what I mean? It's like, we get into these conversations, and I'd be sitting back surprised that I'm engaging in the conversation of such.
Yeah.
While yet thinking to myself, man, how many more young kids wish they had this opportunity and being grateful for it. So to be honest with you, how I got here, man, is just really focused, and I don't know, man, just grateful, being humble.
Yeah, and that's what makes it easy, and none of it is easy. First of all, let's say that
none of it is.
But it makes it easier when you're walking in your purpose, right?
Oh my God, is
when it's just you and you don't have to fake the funk, or you don't have to build on anything but you.
Man, I've never said no so much in my life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Purpose help you know and help you have the strength to say no.
Yeah.
Know where you don't supposed to be and accept the fact that I'll never be able to be in this area.
Right.
Like, I've accepted the fact I can't turn up like I be wanting to turn up in my head. Because in my head, I had turned up a couple times.
It's going on. It's going down.
I'm on top of the table. I'm killing them with the shoulders. I'm killing them with the shoulders.
Shout out to Lil Duval.
I am busting the shoulders right now, man. But I've accepted certain things, right?
Yeah.
And then not only I've accepted certain things, here is one of those things that really I've come to a constellation with, and that is that in life, man, in order to really walk in purpose, you're going to have to live with unanswered questions.
Oh,
right. When I accepted that, I stopped waiting for those answers, and I continue to live that life. They're going to come whenever they come, and if I'm going either way, they're going to come, right?
But if you're waiting on those answers, you'll become stagnant.
Yeah, you're stopping your productivity and your progress.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
that's good.
That's one of the things that I've recently just honed in on for the last 2 years. That if I don't get that answer, I'm not sitting praying, Lord, why? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, why this happened to me? Oh no, them days over with.
Right,
If it happened, it happened. If I get the lesson, I get the lesson. If not, he's gonna double back around and show me that lesson another kind of way. You know what I mean? Because the goal is for me to become the best version of myself. So anyway, he have to do that, he's gonna do that. So you take Jonah, right? Who went through all of those different avenues.
Right.
If he was gonna give up on him preaching in Nineveh, he would have let that whatever well kill him. You know what I mean?
The big fish.
I almost lost my theological story narrative, man. What's wrong with you? but he wanted to make sure that the goal and the purpose was fulfilled.
Right.
And so a lot of times we spend years waiting on answers from people who they're not prepared to give it to us. And some of them they're not even spiritually or mentally capable of giving it to us without them inflicting themselves.
They're not even supposed to be the ones giving it to us.
Exactly, man.
We're waiting on we're waiting on an answer from the wrong vessel.
That's true.
In a lot of cases.
That's true. That's true.
Man.
You know what I mean?
And you said that, and I'm glad you did, because again, for me, it's revelatory, because as of late, I've been offered a few things. I did some time in radio. I did quite some time in radio. And I've been offered to come back to radio.
Yeah.
But at this point, there's nothing that radio can give me.
Those dinosaurs to us today.
Yeah, because you think about, if I go backwards to radio, and which I absolutely love radio, right? I had a fantastic time. I still love it today. I'm still a nostalgic old school radio head. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, wait, you can hold that thought?
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, I've always wanted to do this.
Come on.
I said, hey, what's your name?
All right.
You're on the radio with your boy.
All right, Wayne, shout out to you. I gotta give a shout out, my man.
That's my guy, man. That's my guy. I've always, what we did, man? We took Just For Me tapes.
Yeah.
And put the tissue in the corner.
Yes, sir.
And we recorded our little rhymes on it.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
you ain't had no rhyme.
What's your name? You're on the radio with your boy.
Let me tell you how that came full circle.
My name is Jay.
Ooh, he was going in. He was going in. I was trying to say something, but he went in. I had to shut up.
Nah, I just playing.
That boy coming back from the old school. That's back in the early 90s. That's after David D.
Yeah, people in the corner in the house. Don't supposed to be on the phone. Yeah, my mom was listening.
Don't say nothing. So I'm gonna tell you how that portion came full circle for me. One of the people that I was like, man, enamored with was CJ Morgan.
Oh, he's a fool.
And CJ, yeah, that was his moniker. For those of you that don't know, CJ Morgan, you're a fool. He did 17 years of straight #1 morning show.
Facts.
In the country.
Facts.
He was the #1 show host in the country until Steve Harvey came in, gave him the boot.
Yeah.
Anyway, and that was not a good sight for him. Yeah. It was the transition and the conversion of what was happening. Of course, a lot of people didn't understand, especially if you worked in radio, you didn't get it. But you get it now. You talk about a corporation that is paying millions upon hundreds of millions of dollars a year, and they shuffled all that down to pay $4 million to one radio show and broadcast it everywhere.
Yep.
Come on, man. That's instantaneous. And when I was trying to get into radio, man, my sister and my brother-in-law, I would shoot them my resumes and my air checks, and I'd be like, check this out. Especially my brother-in-law. I'd be like, check this out. And he would tell me like, oh yeah, they would always tell me it sound good or it look good. And I was always like, kind of. But my sister would tell me that your resume, nah, that ain't it.
Yeah.
That ain't it. And then I was a graphic designer, so my resume was like I was full body on the. It was terrible. By today's standard, if you sent that to me, I'm gonna call you in just to tell you stupid.
The level of it.
It's the level of stupidity. So anyway, man, getting back on topic. We talk about your the success of where you are now. And again, that is no easy feat, right? No. And then for the pattern that you travel to get there. Anyway, would you say that it is that you were born in that pattern, or do you say that it was something that you developed over time through whatever?
I really believe, man, I was born this way, right? And that I've never been a person who followed crowds. I've never been a person who hung around a whole lot of people.
That's real. I remember that.
I never been a person who, if this person, who, when we was in John Eric, man, they was wearing like G Nikes and they was wearing Jordans. Man, I kid you not, man. I was going back buying soldiers.
Word.
I was wearing soldiers on purpose. Not that I ain't have the money to
right. No doubt.
G Nikes or the Jordans, because I wore that when I was at Old Parrot Walker. I went back and wore Jordans because I was like, I'm gonna say soldiers because I was like, I don't want to be them.
Right.
I've always had the concept. I don't believe if I'm doing what you're doing that both of us is relevant at the same time. Right. If we doing the same thing, one of us is irrelevant. I've always had that philosophy. So, the pattern by which that I've came, and I took that same philosophy into pastoring and doing what I do. I don't believe that I have to be like you. If you wearing 2-inch cuffs on your suit, I don't have to wear 2-inch cuffs on mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
I'm cool with not wearing the two, because I'm gonna wear something.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the one that's out.
Yeah,
which will force you to adhere to where I am or to see, and then I can give the message.
I was about to say that you can see better.
Yeah.
On the outskirts. You know what I mean? It's hard to see when you're in a crowd.
Absolutely.
It's blurry. Everything look the same.
It's
you know what I mean? Yeah,
absolutely.
And then I understood, just when I went to Maryland and I was I moved to Maryland in 2005. And when I got out there, man, the exposure, that's one of the things I want to talk about. The exposure of diversity and understanding how to diversify your portfolio and how not to be afraid to sit down with an atheist or sit down with a banker and then sit down with a psychiatrist and sit down with these people, and how all of that was helping me to become a holistic person. I said, this is the pattern.
Yeah.
Right. This is the pattern that if I keep on iron sharpening iron, if I keep on sharpening myself against these things, then those areas, because I thought it was only one form of me. You know what I mean? And we all think that it's just that one up and down part. I'm going to be me.
Right.
Until you bump into something else that sharpen another perspective or your creative juices or expand your philosophy or challenge your beliefs or your values or the core of who you are. I promise you, man, when I got around more hungry people, I saw how I wasn't as hungry as I thought I was. You know what I mean? When I got around like creative people, I was like, man, I can't think worth of nothing. I go back home and be like, man, this something ain't right.
Right.
So, but what it did for me was that pattern was created, just exposure, man. And so even now, listen, nobody can say they gave me nothing.
Right. I got you.
You know what I mean? Nobody right now. The only person that I shout out to my pastor, Dr. Lawrence Sincere, who walked with me through life, right?
Yeah.
But outside of that, that's nobody else say, oh man, I gave him a church, I gave him this, I gave him
that. Right.
Oh man, that's
God
work.
Did that.
Oh, that's God did. I've been wanting to do that.
You came in here doing that.
Man, God did that. And it's unique. I can't take credit for it.
Right.
You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's like it's a dope piece, man. That's all I can really explain about it. And in today, like when the pandemic happened, we're looking at right now, every single week, Monday through Friday, on live from 7 a.m. to 7:30, 30-minute increments, right? We're looking at touching just live. We ain't even talk about replays. We're talking live, touching over 20,000 people, right? Wow. That's just live. That's people waking up in the morning on 1, 2, 3, 4 platforms. You got old schoolers call in.
Right. No doubt.
And if I don't mute all of them, you got old school.
You're gonna start hearing some old school.
Past, they be cursing each other out. Get in the back, get in the car.
Yeah.
Where your backpack? My bad, edit that part. But listen, so that's 20,000. That's 20,000. But then you have, replays. You're getting 20,000 replays on these lives. Nobody told me to go live.
Right.
I just went live because I understood the social economics was disrupted when the pandemic happened. It starts at home, school, work, church, whatever extracurriculum. You tell us we can't do none of that.
Right.
And then you putting us inside. Oh man, you don't leave me inside too long. Listen, I'd have been painting all the walls different colors.
You know what I'm saying?
You understand that? Psychedelic colors on the top.
Everywhere. Like all the outside of the house.
Oh man,
every brick painted different.
Yeah, I done calico on that sofa about 3 different times.
You saying that because that was me. I did that. I changed up my den 4 times.
Put that dress over that calico on that dresser. Right there, you understand? But I knew that if anything, people need some kind of social breathing, safe space.
Right.
And so when we started, everybody was like, "Oh man, man, what's the secret?" I told them the secret is there is no secret.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're just going about walking in purpose and doing what God has called you to do.
And that's a perfect example of what is for you is for you.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, because I mean, again, if you go through and try to be TD, or anybody else, or
praise the Lord, everybody. Get ready.
Did you just puff up too?
Yeah, he walk with his shoulders like this,
like Pastor Charles, like Pastor Charles.
Oh yeah. He sit up, it's over.
Yeah, that was my guy, man. He poured a lot into me when I was in ministry.
Yeah, man.
But anyway, this journey in itself is phenomenal. Of course, you guys know we've been on a health journey before, and we're transitioning. And I'm glad you guys can be a part of the transition to go to the next phase of the EGMJ JE podcast, and where we're going. We're looking to have some phenomenal guests, and we have some great things that's in front of us. Some great people that is going to share their journeys as far as life. Some may be health, some may be sickness, it may be whatever, but it will always bless your life. That's what I can guarantee each and every time. You will always be blessed by what's in front of you. And if you haven't already done so, take this opportunity to go ahead and subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification, and become a partner with us. Hit all of our social platforms. We are at EGMJ JE podcast on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I mean, I don't have Twitter anymore.
Twitter.
Yeah, I don't have it anymore. So we may get there, but TikTok, all that. We're the same thing on all platforms. So check us out. And
you want to do a TikTok after this?
Let's do a TikTok. What's your
man? Don't do that to me, man.
We gonna do it.
My youngest been teaching me how to do these TikToks.
Oh, well, see, I don't know nothing about doing it. But I
want to do this. Damn, them Baltimore dudes.
What about do your dance, AB? Do your dance, AB.
Oh, no,
I
can't
hilarious.
do that, man.
That's hilarious, fam.
I can't do that, man.
Speaking of Baltimore, man, how long were you in Baltimore? I forgot you went to Baltimore. You and what was that, Carlos?
Yeah.
Brantley, yeah.
Marquise, yeah. I was out there for 6 years, 5 to 6 years.
Why did I call him Carlos?
I don't know. You want to call him Marquise or Carlos?
Let's call him Marquise, because that's his name.
Let's call him Carlos.
Brother Brantley. Brantley. We ain't doing it. You can do it.
All right, call him.
I'm sorry, man.
Carlos Santana music playing in my head while we saying Carlos. I'm not sure what kind of. Yeah. We went up there, man, 5, 6 years, man.
Yeah.
And,
okay. Is he still there, or did he come home? Okay, good enough. Not our business. Moving on.
Hey, Los, I know you, brother.
I say Los. Yeah, nobody needs to know where he is. But another good brother, man. Another product of that same time at John Ehret.
Yeah, man. We used to have we had fun in school, man. All of us was working. We used to have restaurant wars, everybody from Burger King wear their Burger King jacket. Everybody from McDonald's wear their hats.
Yeah, y'all was plenty. Y'all was plenty stupid.
Yeah, we had all the people cheesecakes.
But it was laughing though.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, it was the stuff that they creating today, man. We was doing that back then, real stupid.
Yeah, so I'm glad we're talking about that, because there's a piece that I want to transition into. And then I don't even know if how much of this you know about, right? And my problem is that right now at that same school where there was all of that greatness, the same school you get Cordell Stewart, Slash, and what's his name, Reggie Wayne, multi Super Bowl winning Hall of Famer, whatever. You get these guys. Now, just last year, man, they had multiple murders.
Where?
At John Ehret.
At our alma mater. Well, my alma mater.
Yeah, at John Ehret High School. And not only did they have multiple murders, the murders came through, the murderers were John Ehret students. And nobody's talking about it. Nobody's saying anything about it. It's just like it's going to hell in a handbasket. And I don't see the community leaders out here. There was only one of the many stories. I'd like to say it was 7 total. And there was one kid that got shot at the bus stop in the project on Betty Street.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was on Betty or Acre Road, maybe. That was the only one that we saw. And it was like that. We didn't even see a lot of it. What's the stake of the community? What's the stake of the community leaders? Not only the educational leaders, not only the school board, but I'm talking about the school board members, the council people, the police department.
Oh, you talking my talk now.
Why are we not on that and making that come to life, or expounding or expelling all the negative stuff that's there? What's the problem?
So I'm gonna answer this in probably about 4 different parts, right?
Okay.
Let's start with this initial response that we started to hear for those who lost their life and the parents who still have to deal with that, especially coming up on holidays, right?
Yeah.
I would say that all of our systems have been disrupted, right? And when we talk about systems, we're not just talking about the government. We're not just talking about, our first responders and school systems. We're talking community systems. We're talking systems abroad, right?
Totality, right.
Nobody, number one, is holding anybody accountable. We are concerned about who's responsible, but not concerned about who's accountable, right? And so we are throwing rocks at people just because they did it, but we don't know where it come from. What are the traumatic experiences by which cause a person to operate in that function, or their psychosis, just using some words to help them understand where it is and where they are. So with those systems with no accountability, we used to have checkpoints, right? We used to have that if something happened in the African-American community, that the first people we're going to call is the NAACP.
Word up. Absolutely.
We don't even do that no more. The first thing we do is somebody think that they have some influence to just get in front of a camera and say they represent us.
Yeah.
We don't even check the people who say they represent us.
They have to be vetted as well.
They're not being vetted. So, let's take an incident, and I'm not sure what your reservations or your restrictions on the platform, but
I don't have any restrictions.
Oh, no. Let me go about my business then.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Rouses situation, right?
Absolutely.
Let's talk Rouses. So, number one, we see him, or we get a picture. Let's just say what it was. We get a picture off Twitter that shows Mr. Rouses in DC.
Right. January 6th.
January 6th. And the African American community go crazy. Right.
Right.
So my phone ringing. Boom. Bah, 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 bah. Hey, we need you to lead this. I say, lead what? What we doing? Like, I'm trying to figure out what did we check like outside of that? What he doing up there? Or, woo, right? So they do these marches and protests in front of us. Now, anybody in my community know how this worked, right?
Right.
We went to work and we worked at these stores, and if they'd have done their homework, they'd have knew the large percentage of kids that they hire in African American kids and African American managers and blase. So before you go protest, that they're gonna, there's a potential possibility they're gonna lose their job.
They're gonna lose their job.
To eat. So you think about it from a parental perspective, that parent just fussed at that child to go get a job. They got a job. Now because you want the spotlight of a camera, because everybody doing it for clout now.
Word.
Nobody feeding the hungry because they want to feed the hungry, because they'll discover that the hungry don't need food no more. They need mental health. You see what I'm saying?
I'm feeding this guy right here.
Yeah. So nobody doing that for the real reason that they need to do it. They do it for clout, right? And it's a great idea, but I understand the dynamics of it. So, out of all of that, many people don't know, we learned after that he was retired. And what's the freedom of retirement if you're gonna tell me where I need to go
and
or
what I could do? Right.
I don't care if I was at a KKK meeting. I'm retired.
I'm no longer a part of the organization.
Yeah. Now let me keep going now, because I feel it now. I'm starting to feel it now.
Your feeling
you
on.
Understand? That's number one. Number two, where did the tweet come from?
Okay.
We didn't talk about seeing him. All right, cool. We see him there. But where that tweet came from?
Yeah.
That tweet came from a former mayor who he didn't support. So he threw that bone to us as a bone.
Wow.
And we did exactly what he knew we was going to do.
Wow.
Use all of our energy and resources to focus on something that was insignificant and irrelevant to anything that we had going on. By the way, it was only a year later we just closed down the only African American grocery store that we had,
Sterling Farms.
So the energy that you had to
not
protest,
only did we close it down, we didn't support it.
That's the energy you had to protest there. Should have been the same energy you should have been sending people to
Sterling Farms.
To the Sterling Farms.
Absolutely.
So, you know, a lot of those type of dynamics as it relates to not vetting people who represent us. And this is what I wanted to say, like I had in my mind, that if we don't have the proper people who's translating the transitions.
Wow.
Right.
Okay, that's good.
That's what we got going on. There's so many transitions that's happening right now in our community, and we don't have people who are adequately translating those transitions because people are more concerned about who's first, whether and who's right. I'm gonna put this information out there because I want to be the first one to say it. So, you know, we see that in our community. Oh, rest in peace, such and such and such. Man, that man ain't even dead yet, man.
Yeah.
He ain't even dead yet. How many times DMX died? About 99?
No, I died.
You did?
I died.
I seen that.
I was out here in these streets dead. Right, sis?
You was in the streets or you was in the hospital bed?
Well, I was in the hospital, but in the streets, they were saying that I died.
Somebody wanted to be first.
Yeah.
Somebody
they knew I was sick. You know, they know
somebody wanted to see who was gonna get the most likes and sympathy and praying for you. And man, listen, when I check out of here, I hope they unplug the internet, to be honest with you. Don't put no pictures up there.
Don't tell nobody.
Don't tell nobody. Look, man, that stuff aggravates. Why, man? Because I think this is important to our community, because the misinformation, you cannot live right consistently if you're being misinformed intentionally.
Wow, that's good. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like people are literally just keep on misinforming us. We can't live right, man, if we constantly getting the wrong information.
No.
So to go back to your question, that we have all of these different people, we don't have the gatekeepers like your sister was for you no more in our communities.
Right.
You know what I mean? What the dude used to stand up and say, hey man, listen, nobody talk, let that man talk. That's the leader.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We don't have that no more. Anybody who have a phone or who have followers, and then we're not even picking leaders who are true to what it is that we need. We picking people who have followers. And just because they have followers don't mean they have influence. There's a difference between an influential person and an affluent person. And we ain't getting that.
Right.
You know what I mean? We figure, oh, they got followers, then they have something to say. You'll find out that a lot of people who have a lot of followers don't have nothing in between their ears.
Man. And they don't have anything to say.
They don't have nothing to say, especially to certain subject matters.
Yeah.
You know, and the truth is that just because they have a good product don't mean they have a good personality. And just because they have a nice web design doesn't mean that they are holistic or wherewithal with all of the conversations that need to be had. So our community now is being ran by people who know how to post at the right time.
Right. Exactly.
Our community is being ran by people who know how to hire a videographer to create good content.
Well, they're capitalizing on what's in front of them.
Capitalizing off the abuse or the pain of people. So we don't have, and then you have city officials. I'm there now. City officials who are awarding people for this as if it's a stamp or a staple to say, this is what we applaud. But Slim over here with the nonprofit who've been scraping up crumbs and who lost their job just to take care of our kids and transitional living, they don't get no recognition.
None.
I ain't talking about the ones who begging for it. And I ain't talking about the people who do it just for recognition.
Right.
Man, that man been working hard.
Been grinding.
Been planting fruits and all kind of stuff in his yard to feed the community. And you don't got to give him the keys to the city. But at least go in and pick the fruits with him.
That's it.
But you just applauded somebody who didn't do nothing for free. Everything was for profit margin and profitability.
Yes, sir. And they sit on that. And it's appalling, man.
That's a deterioration. So you'll get a person like me or anybody else who don't have the spiritual stability that says, I'm gonna look past that and keep doing it for the greater good. Who says, man, it makes no sense to do this. Not when nobody appreciates the realness or the real people in our community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And
got my blood pressure up.
and you know, in that, who's benefiting? Nobody.
Kids are dying, man.
And again, that's what I was going to. It's not only that no one is benefiting, but these kids are literally losing their lives. They're dying. It is no longer we're gonna fight.
Yeah,
they're not fighting no more either, man.
Yeah,
they're out here they ending it, and it's because they don't have a concept of we don't give them as adults and as or their leaders, to give them a concept of what life is, and then we negate the fact of putting positive systems in place for them.
By the way, there's no social experience that's happening in our community like it once was. North Parks used to have different people who used to volunteer their time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh man, listen, Mac Park, everywhere.
I was one of those guys.
We used to go ball all night long.
Yeah.
Right? In North Park, Fox Park. We used to listen, McDonaldville, listen, McClendonville.
Now that's me, not McDonaldville. Don't get it twisted. Go ahead. I'm sorry. That's my
always brazen up in the middle of my man, we used to be flashbacks. Huh?
Yeah.
we used to ball, but we had parents volunteering.
That's right. Absolutely.
Here's the problem. You know, my son he loved technology.
Shout out J. Michael.
J. Michael. My son loved technology, and he can play any sport and he'll be good at it.
Yeah.
But he don't love not one of them.
Right.
It was a weird experiment that I had. I never forced him into anything.
I got you.
I said, man, look, go play basketball, go play football, do whatever you want to do. I want to see how you adapt to it. You know, I'm looking at his strengths and his weaknesses, right? Mm-hmm. J. Michael is a problem solver. So anytime he see a problem, he's thinking about a solution. So I create problems for him so he can do it. But I put him in football, not because I wanted him to be a star.
Right.
I put him in football so he can have the social experience.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with football.
Yes, sir.
What made me who I am is because I was in these parks talking to
these different kids.
Yeah. So when somebody tell me something, I ain't trying to blow their head off.
Right.
I know how to deal with it.
And all these different walks of life.
Yeah.
And not only do you know how to deal with them, you have an assimilated to them, their families, and their other friends, and now you can relate to who they are.
Man, try to rib somebody right now, man. Like we used to rib.
No.
Oh, we talk about your mom and your dad, grandma, and everybody else. Yeah. Like we used to rib, right?
Oh, no, I know.
Now we got in a couple fights now.
Yeah. You know, but that's different. It's
we drag them from the river, dump their body in Chuck Yard. That should be said.
A bad yellow boy. Oh, he wants some.
But we had the social experience that it wasn't to the degree where I feel as though I gotta, just because we having a conversation, I have to end you, right? So there's no social development that's going on. Those parks was more than just trying to produce the best football player, the best basketball player. Those parks was a safe haven for us.
So now that you say that, our kids are no longer kids of outside, right? Man. Like we were kids of outside. We were kids like the punishment was, you're not going outside today.
Yeah.
To them, the punishment is go outside.
Go outside.
You know, and so with that being said, technology has been a gift and a curse, right?
Yeah.
So how do we, and this is me looking for answers versus just stating the obvious. How do we take the technology pieces and we implement them perhaps may not necessarily be the parks, but perhaps in places that we can have social experience or social experiments for these kids to be out here, to be able to touch one another, to really interact. Mm-hmm. How do we do that, taking off of the same thing that's already been built from our whole lives? Because we know that the communal aspect of the playgrounds was put everybody together. We're going to talk. We're going to have fun. We're going to ball. We're going to do this. We're going to have competitive situations. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a winner and a loser. Everybody don't just get a trophy.
Yeah. Soft. This soft, bro.
Oh, soft beyond measure.
I had to take that hit that I ain't win. Or I had to take that, we walk off the basketball court saying, man, we lost the championship. We just go cry, put our uniform in the washing machine.
And what was your character like after that?
Oh, I'm going to get it.
I'm going to either get better.
Listen, I'm at home practicing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
This ain't never going to happen to me again.
No, this can't happen to me again. To answer your question, the technology right now is speeding up the mental progress
capacity, right?
Capacity. So right now, neuroscientists and neurologists trying to expand the capacity of the brain, right?
Of course, yeah.
Because we're on information overload, right?
Right.
And a lot of our kids, and Sis here, she can testify that a lot of our kids right now, they just cannot manage all this information.
It's almost impossible.
It's illogical
because
to think.
we're not computers.
We are not. I think it's illogical to think that those kids at that age can manage emotions that adults can't even manage.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So right now, you got 11-year-olds can have a conversation with a 44-year-old on the same level because of the progression of information. The only thing that prohibit us to have childhood activities is our parents kept us from around certain information.
Yeah, get out of grown folks' business.
Get out of grown folks' business. You can't be in this conversation.
That's right.
You can't watch that. No, you can't listen to that.
But they listening to and having experiences on the same information that we, and it's impossible for us to control what they're listening to.
Dwayne Wade said his child is teaching him how to be a man. Don't Scooby-Doo me.
Wait.
Exactly.
Okay.
This man sat here and said, you know, my child.
There you go.
Have more.
It's a great way to put it.
Have more intel as it relates to life or masculinity than me. He's teaching me how to be a man. I couldn't. I wrestle with that.
I don't understand
that whole statement because I couldn't understand how a kid can Google how to be a man, and you've been a man all your life.
But again, I'm gonna go a little deeper. You're talking about a kid that does not want to be a man.
Yeah.
But that's
he's teaching you how to be a man, and then the next day you around here with pink hair,
and dresses, and
black nails.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the whole idea that those kids can't handle that.
Right.
I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how beautiful, smart you want your child to be. There's certain level and stages that kid cannot manage until they reach a certain place of maturity.
It's got to be development. You got to give them the opportunity to develop. And when you don't, they will take whatever they like and make it real.
Of course.
And it's on us.
We have to protect those kids.
We have
certain things I don't let my son watch, period.
Yeah.
Certain things I don't let him be around me, period. Certain things, if he get too much of it, I take it away from him. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like you gotta manage those kids. You gotta, raise the child.
That's it.
And you know what I mean?
And it's about being a productive and healthy parent, healthy for that child.
Yeah.
And we have to do that. And if we don't, we'll wind up losing that kid.
Oh man, you're gonna lose a lot of. But then I ain't mean to get too passionate.
No. That's what we need. That's the passion, man.
But when you start looking at where we are as a community and where we need to be, according factoring in this technology and stuff like that, I really believe we have more technology. Granted, but we got to safeguard our kids. Man.
It's a must.
I don't see no other way that we can implement both worlds without them escaping in the other world more than being in the real world.
That's right.
We're
in the world. The world is meta now.
If I can turn back the hands of time, what you're saying is you want to go back to that imaginations and the images that you had when you was a kid that you lived in rent free, but that's with your peace.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And again, now that is we're getting the ability to do that. But the only way we can do that is if we separate and we not only step, for those of us that stepped out of the matrix, but for those, we'd have to go deeper into the matrix, and we're talking simulations, of course, and parable. But that's what it is. I mean, you look at the course of everything that we're doing now in the physical is based on a meta life. Everything is falsified. Nothing is tangible. When we look at cryptocurrency and we look at NFTs and all those things, and it's the way. So we have to figure out a way to garner ourselves, but we got to be safe in it. We have to find a way to be safe in it, because if not, we're gonna be left behind and we're gonna be in the Stone Ages and we won't be relevant
at all, man. So thank you for getting my blood pressure up. I got to find somewhere to eat because my nerve bad now. I need to find me a crab cake.
Let me get that.
You heard me.
They got one right outside on the ground. To get that thing. Anyway, again, we talk about these processes and and how do we proceed with these kids? My concern is not that we'll lose them, but we are losing them.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
And I don't think we understand the transitions that are happening at its speed, right?
And sometimes I think that might be the thing, that we can't keep up with the speed of thing going.
We still trying to adjust and adapt to this world. Listen, I'm 37, man.
Mm-hmm.
The world I used to know is no more.
Think about my world.
You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm 37, and what I used to do, cool can, jacks, well, not jacks, like marbles or pitch to the line.
Man, I used to play jack.
I didn't want you to say that.
I'm just saying.
I had just left. I had left that.
I'm just saying, you don't negate your truth because you feel the kind of way. Pick up sticks. How about that?
You had one. You had one in jacks.
I never won. Yeah, I was trash. But I was playing with my sisters and cousins. And,
yeah, that's a good way to fix that, huh?
Yeah. And they were murdering the game, you know. And I'm like, and I think sometimes I used to lose on purpose just because I'm like, wait a minute, I can't be playing no jacks.
Yeah,
can't tell nobody I'm out here playing jacks.
I'm trying to figure out why you're telling them right now.
Hey, man,
I'm getting ready to say, yeah, man, because we used to play on the monkey balls.
There you go. That's what I meant when I said jacks.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, cool. We used to play on the monkey balls. And we used to do certain things. You know what I mean?
I wasn't even touching that double dutch I used to do. Well, I mean, I didn't do that.
Double dutch.
I was speed and agility workout for football and baseball. That's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was doing. You know, before they was even, I was ahead of the game. I was ahead of the game. You know, guys, we could spend here all day. I'm just gonna have to have this gentleman back. Because we got a lot to talk about, man. We got some work to do around us and in our own community, and that will definitely span across, I believe, across this country, in tying in certain things to kind of save our kids. Yeah, not just our kids, but our community as well.
Yeah. Man, man, I'm passionate about systems.
That's it,
man. If every parent can monitor with those kids, man, that's big.
It's huge.
As huge.
And maybe that's the next book. Developing systems and showing them how to develop systems, and or not just a book, or maybe a series of or a summit, so say, on the internet. Yeah. And showing these parents and people, because those very same systems that you will show them for their kids are the same systems that corporations can utilize. Oh man, because they're hand in hand, they're one in one with the same. Yeah, absolutely. So when you do that, you know, the IP, the intellectual property, I got to be written in on that. So when you go and get them billions, I need to be in. Let me get my paper. You heard me? Yeah, because I'm Willie Fred. I'm going to get the billions. When I put it together, seriously, man. Yeah, I'm in. I'm in. You know, we could definitely talk. Even if it's to sit at the table and to throw my ideas or thoughts or whatever in, you know, whatever it is. This is just outside of the comedic value. It's so important, and I believe that God is calling a certain portion of people to do the job. Yeah. And as we're doing the job, we got to get it done. Yeah. And stop worrying about clout. Stop worrying about who can see me or what they see me for or why they see me. You know what I'm saying? We got to do it for what's outside, and then God's gonna reward it openly. Yeah, man. I tell people, if I'm seen, I want to be seen. That's at that time. Word. Outside of that, I'm at home with one sock on, eat my popcorn. One sock, golly. Only one foot get cold. I hear you. You understand? You got a hot foot. If James Brown had a good foot, this dude got a hot foot. Yeah, man. I'm just chilling, man. But thank you so very much for allowing us to come. Very. Yeah. All right, I hear you, player. Thank you, man, for allowing me to come and sit down and chop it up about just life. Yeah. One more thing, man. I really want to challenge every person to start researching these boards that governs our city and stuff like that. Yeah. We don't have people on those boards who have morality and things of that nature. So we're allowing anything to flow through our city structure and infrastructure because we have nobody to stop and say, nah, that don't work for all kids. Yes, right. That work for y'all kids, but where's the morality in it? You know what I mean? Yeah. So you know, that's my goal before the end of this year is to jump on as many podcasts I possibly can. Yeah, absolutely. Talk morality. You talking now? You get what I'm saying? Let's talk morals. Let's talk conscience, conviction, things of that nature. That's not super spiritual. That's life. That's practical. That's practical. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So that's our
thank you for letting me sit down with you, man. Nobody want me to sit down with them.
No?
No, man. They don't be wanting me to
come. I can't understand why. So look, this is what I'm gonna do. You know, we kind of had a precursor to this before you came in on the walk-in. Mm-hmm. We need to get Kev on here.
Oh man.
And I'm talking about you talking about system with the kids. Man. You talking about we'll go hard and stand on the Superdome and scream out a message. Man. Kevin Griffin, man, that's my little brother.
That's my guy.
My little brother. We worked together in radio, and he was actually my intern, I think. And yeah, man, great individual. Just in case you don't know him now, you will know him.
If you don't know,
now you know. You know, the president of 2 Cent TV, all connected in all kinds of ways, man. And
we outside.
Gizmo, shout out to Big Giz on the We Outside joke. Let me get on. Let me get down, Giz. I got a verse. You hear me?
I wanted to say that too for a long time. Thank you for letting me say stuff that I can't say in the morning.
You can. How about you just start saying that stuff in the morning?
Boy. This is the most ghettoest pass that.
I bet your membership triple. You talking about being the fastest growing fast in the city. You start saying stuff like that.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Praise the Lord. We outside this morning. Yep.
And then everybody that, man, y'all heard Pat? I'm sorry.
That passed out his top.
Passed out of his out. Yeah, but guys, I'd like to take this time to say thank you guys for joining us. I want to thank you for even coming and taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down with me, man.
It's joy, man.
Man, look, we got to do it again. Like real talk. Like real talk. Maybe develop some new stuff. But again, I'm a preface this. What's to come is going to be, just keep your eyes open, people. Keep your eyes open. And again, I'm a shout out. Not shout out, but I'm gonna say this one more time. If you have not gotten to link with us, every platform is EGMJ JE. It's EGMJ JE. Yep, it's right there on the screen. And link up with your people. And at this time, we put up the good music, right? We bopping and bobbing. I got the pastor going, right? I got him moving and grooving. He gonna be playing this on in the mornings for prayer. It's gonna be the Sunday. This is gonna be praise and worship song. It's your man EG with the EGMJ JE podcast. And as I like to tell y'all all the time, keep your deuces crooked. We out.